Okay, we're asked to write a proportion for each problem. So we're told that these two triangles are similar, and with that information, we're to find x and y. So we need to set up a proportion in order to do this. So let's go ahead and look at this side of this triangle, and we compare it to this side of the smaller triangle. So our ratio is 12 to 6 is equal to, and we're going to have our x go with clearly the 5. Now the question is, how do we write this ratio? Is it x on the top and then 5 on the bottom, or is it the other way around? We have to keep the order the same. So since we started with the big triangle on the left side of our equation, we have to start with a big triangle on the right side of our equation. So we would have 5 over x. We would have the same kind of thing going on here with the y. We're still going to have a ratio of 12 is to 6, but this time we're looking at our y's, and that y is going to go with a 13. Again, the big triangle needs to come on top, so we'd have 13 up here and y down here. In both of these proportions, a couple different ways to solve this. You probably noticed that 6 is half of 12. So our x needs to be half of 5, and our y has to be half of 13. The other way to do it, of course, you can always cross multiply. So this would be 12 times x, and this would be 6 times 5, which is 30, and the equal sign is in the middle, and you would solve that as a one-step equation. So you've got two different methods you can use for these. For me, it was probably helpful to draw a little diagram. So a 5-foot tall person, so here is a 5-foot tall person. I'm going to write little 5 feet right there. And she's casting a shadow that is 3 feet long. And I did not draw that very well. It looks like the shadow is longer than the person, but that's okay. All right, so 5 feet to 3 feet, height to shadow. And then we've got a tree that's obviously going to be a lot taller because trees are usually taller than 5 feet. Oh, it's not a person, it's a tree. So here I'm going to make a little tree. All right, and this tree is casting a shadow that's 12 feet long. So the 12 foot goes down here for the shadow, and we don't know how tall the tree is. We're going to call that a variable. I'm going to call it T for tree. So in order to do this, this is a proportion. We set it up, and we can do it a couple different ways. We can say, all right, well, 5 feet for the person's height is to 3 feet for the shadow. 5 is to 3, as the T for the tree height is to 12 for the shadow. Again, person is to person's height, as tree is to, person's height is to person's shadow, as tree's height is to tree's shadow. You could also have said, well, I'm going to compare height to height and shadow to shadow. And that would have looked like 5 for the person is to T for the tree, as 3 is for the person's shadow is to 12 for the tree's shadow. Either way, you'll notice that when you cross multiply, you will get the exact same equation. So I'm going to leave you here to solve this.